What if the greatest villain in Marvel history was already pulling strings in Avengers Endgame? Picture this: Dr. Victor Von Doom, the masked genius of science and sorcery, lurking in the shadows of the MCU's biggest movie, planting seeds for his inevitable rise. Could Marvel have hidden clues to his arrival right under our noses? Here's what's got fans buzzing. Why do tiny details in Endgame scream Latveria, Doom's fictional kingdom? Who was secretly funding experiments that shaped the heroes we know? Was the time heist more than a desperate plan? Could it be a setup for Doom's mastery of time itself? And the big one, what if Dr. Doom isn't just coming to the MCU, but has already made his first move? Today, we're diving into a theory that's equal parts mind-blowing and plausible. Dr. Doom was subtly teased in Avengers Endgame. We're breaking down every clue, Easter egg, and hidden hint that points to the rise of Marvel's most iconic villain. Once you see these connections, you'll never watch Endgame the same way again. So, grab a notebook, pause your rewatch, and let's uncover the truth. Is Dr. Doom already here? Let's find out. Before we jump into the clues, let's set the stage. Who is Dr. Victor Von Doom, and why would his arrival in the MCU be a seismic shift? Victor Von Doom is no ordinary villain. He's the ruler of Latveria, a fictional Eastern European nation he forged through sheer will. He's a genius scientist who rivals Tony Stark, a sorcerer who can challenge Doctor Strange, and a diplomat with the cunning of a world leader. Imagine Iron Man's tech, Doctor Strange's magic, and Thanos' unrelenting ambition, all wrapped in an ego that makes Loki look humble. That's Doom. In the comics, Doom is best known as the archenemy of the Fantastic Four, particularly Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, whose intellect is the only one Doom considers a true rival. But his reach extends far beyond. He's battled Spider-Man, the Avengers, the X-Men, and even cosmic entities like Galactus. His defining moment? In the Secret Wars storyline, Doom steals the power of a god, becoming God Emperor Doom, reshaping reality itself. Why does this matter for the MCU? After Thanos, Marvel needs a villain who can carry the weight of the multiverse saga. Thanos was a cosmic threat with a warped moral code, but Doom is different. He's not just powerful, he's personal. He's a villain who can outsmart heroes, manipulate nations, and bend reality to his will. If Marvel wants to top Infinity War and Endgame, Doom is their ace in the hole. So, could Marvel have planted the seeds for this game changer in Endgame? Let's dive into the first clue. One of the most chaotic moments in Avengers Endgame happens during the time heist. The Avengers travel back to 2012 New York to retrieve the Infinity Stones, but things go sideways. Loki snatches the Tesseract, the Space Stone, and vanishes, creating a new timeline. On the surface, this moment sets up the Loki series, where we follow this variant of the God of Mischief. But what if there's a deeper layer? What if this event caught the attention of someone far more dangerous? Like Dr. Doom? Let's break it down. In the comics, Doom is obsessed with the Infinity Stones. He's studied them, sought them, and even wielded their power in stories like Infinity Gauntlet. The Tesseract, housing the Space Stone, is a prize that would absolutely pique Doom's interest. Its ability to manipulate space aligns perfectly with his goals of global and cosmic domination. Now think about the timeline Loki creates. When he escapes, he fractures reality, creating a branch where the events of the Avengers 2012 no longer play out as they did. This new timeline is a blank slate, a world without the Avengers' victory, without S.H.I.E.L.D.'s control, and potentially without a stable global order. In the comics, Doom thrives in chaos. He's a master at exploiting power vacuums, whether political, technological, or cosmic. Here's the theory. What if Loki's escape drew Doom's attention to the Space Stone's potential? What if, in this variant timeline, Doom began experimenting with the ripples of that event, using his scientific and mystical prowess to track the stone or harness its energy? The Loki series introduces the Time Variance Authority, TVA, an organization that prunes divergent timelines. But what if the TVA's actions are unknowingly covering for Doom's own timeline experiments? In the comics, Doom builds his own time machine, the Time Platform, which allows him to travel through history and manipulate events. Could the Loki variant timeline be where Doom begins testing his own time travel tech, using the Space Stone's energy as a catalyst? The TVA might think they're cleaning up Loki's mess, but they could be erasing evidence of Doom's early moves. Why did Marvel choose to highlight Loki's escape so prominently? Was it just to set up a Disney Plus show? Or is it a breadcrumb leading to a much bigger villain? Let's shift gears to another overlooked detail in Endgame: the curious absence of Sokovia. Sokovia, introduced in Avengers Age of Ultron, is an Eastern European nation devastated by Ultron's attack. Its destruction leads to the Sokovia Accords, a global agreement that regulates superhuman activity. By Endgame, the Accords are still in play, but Sokovia itself is barely mentioned. Why? The MCU is known for its meticulous world building. Nations don't just vanish without a reason. Here's where things get interesting. In the comics, Latveria, Doom's homeland, is also an Eastern European nation, often depicted in the same region as Sokovia. Some fans theorize that Sokovia's fall created the perfect opportunity for Doom to step in. Imagine this: a war-torn country, its people desperate for leadership, its infrastructure in ruins. This is exactly the kind of scenario Doom exploits. In the comics, Victor Von Doom rises to power by overthrowing Latveria's corrupt regime, using his intellect and charisma to win the loyalty of its people. He transforms Latveria into a technological utopia, under his iron rule, of course. What if, in the MCU, Sokovia's collapse paved the way for Doom to seize control, rebranding the nation as Latveria? The Sokovia Accords themselves could be a clue. They fractured the Avengers, sowed distrust among heroes, and destabilized global politics. Doom is a master manipulator who thrives in such instability. He doesn't just conquer with weapons, he conquers with ideas, positioning himself as a savior in times of crisis. The Accords' fallout could have been the perfect cover for Doom to consolidate power in Eastern Europe, building Latveria while the world was distracted by Thanos. Let's dig deeper. Endgame takes place 5 years after the snap, a period of global mourning and chaos. We see glimpses of this in the film: empty stadiums, abandoned cities, and a fractured Avengers team. But we don't see what's happening in Eastern Europe. Could Marvel be holding back, saving Sokovia's fate for a big reveal? Consider this. In Spider-Man Far From Home, set shortly after Endgame, there's no mention of Sokovia either, despite its significance in the Accords. This silence feels deliberate. Marvel doesn't ignore key locations unless they're planning something. What if Sokovia hasn't disappeared? It's just been reborn as Latveria, under the rule of a certain masked monarch. Why has Marvel been so quiet about Sokovia's fate? Is it gone, or has it been transformed into something new? Something ruled by Victor Von Doom? Now, let's talk about one of the juiciest theories tying Endgame to Doctor Doom, the fate of Stark Tower. In Spider-Man Far From Home, we learn that Stark Tower, the iconic Avengers headquarters, has been sold. Fans immediately speculated that it could become the Baxter Building, home of the Fantastic Four, in the MCU's upcoming reboot. But what if there's an extra step in that journey? What if Stark Tower's buyer wasn't Reed Richards, but Victor Von Doom? In the comics, Doom and Reed Richards are bitter rivals. Their rivalry isn't just professional, it's personal. Doom believes he's superior to Reed in every way, from science to leadership to moral conviction. The idea of Doom acquiring Stark Tower, a symbol of Tony Stark's legacy, would be a bold move. It would give him access to Stark's cutting-edge technology, his AI systems, and possibly even remnants of the Iron Man suits. For a genius like Doom, this would be like handing him the keys to a technological kingdom. Let's explore this further. Stark Tower isn't just a building, it's a treasure trove of innovation. Tony's arc reactors, his holographic interfaces, and his quantum research could accelerate Doom's own projects. In the comics, Doom doesn't invent everything from scratch. He's a master at reverse engineering and improving existing tech. Acquiring Stark's assets would give him a massive head start, allowing him to build the advanced weaponry and robotics we associate with Latveria. But there's more. Stark Tower's sale is a symbolic victory. Tony Stark is the MCU's founding hero, the man who kicked off the franchise. For Doom to claim his headquarters would be a statement. The old guard is gone, and a new power is rising. It would also set up a delicious conflict with Reed Richards. If Reed later acquires the building for the Fantastic Four, he'd be stepping into a space already touched by his greatest enemy. Let's not forget the timing. Endgame marks the end of Tony's story, and the sale of Stark Tower happens shortly after. This transition period is perfect for Doom to make his move, capitalizing on the Avengers' disarray. The question is, who has the resources and motive to buy such a high-profile property? A shadowy Eastern European figure with unlimited ambition fits the bill. Why didn't Marvel clarify who bought Stark Tower? Is it just a setup for the Fantastic Four, or is there a darker force at play? Here's where we get into some deep-cut speculation, but it's one of the most intriguing clues yet. In Avengers Endgame, Bruce Banner reveals he's become Smart Hulk, a perfect blend of Hulk's strength and Banner's intellect. It's a massive transformation, but the movie glosses over how he achieved it. Could Doctor Doom be the missing piece? Let's break it down. Becoming Smart Hulk isn't just a matter of willpower. It requires advanced biotechnology, gamma radiation expertise, and possibly even mystical energy manipulation. Bruce says he spent 18 months in a lab, but we don't get specifics. That's unusual for the MCU, which loves to show its heroes' processes. Think Tony building his suits or Shuri's vibranium tech. The lack of detail feels intentional. In the comics, Doctor Doom has dabbled in gamma radiation. He studied the Hulk's powers and even manipulated gamma energy for his own experiments. Doom's unique blend of science and sorcery makes him one of the few characters capable of helping Bruce achieve this transformation. Could Doom have been a silent partner, providing tech or knowledge that Bruce unknowingly used? Here's a wilder angle. What if Doom wanted Bruce to become Smart Hulk? In the comics, Doom often manipulates heroes into becoming stronger, only to use their power against them later. A smarter, stronger Hulk could be a pawn in Doom's larger game, perhaps a test subject for his own experiments in human enhancement. By helping Bruce, Doom could gain data, influence, or even a psychological edge over the Avengers. Let's consider the timeline. The 5-year gap between the snap and Endgame's climax is largely unexplored. Bruce's transformation happens during this period, a time when the world is in chaos and oversight is minimal. It's the perfect window for a figure like Doom to operate in the shadows, offering resources to desperate heroes. There's also a mystical angle. Smart Hulk's balance of mind and body feels almost alchemical, a concept tied to Doom's sorcery. In the comics, Doom trained under monks in Tibet and studied ancient texts to master magic. Could his knowledge of esoteric energies have contributed to Bruce's success? Why did Marvel leave Smart Hulk's origins so vague? Is it just a plot convenience? Or is there a hidden collaborator waiting to be revealed? Time travel is the backbone of Avengers Endgame's plot. Tony Stark cracks the code, using quantum mechanics and a Mobius strip model to navigate the multiverse. But something about how quickly he solves it raises eyebrows. Could Doctor Doom have played a role? In the comics, Doom is a pioneer of time travel. His time platform allows him to traverse history, alter events, and even create alternate realities. Unlike Tony, who relies on quantum physics, Doom's tech blends science and magic, making it uniquely versatile. What if Tony's breakthrough wasn't entirely his own? Here's the theory. Tony's algorithm could have been influenced by records of Doom's earlier experiments. Let's not forget Howard Stark, Tony's father, who worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. and had access to obscure scientific archives. In Captain America, the Winter Soldier, we learned S.H.I.E.L.D. was infiltrated by Hydra, which hoarded advanced tech. Could some of that tech trace back to Doom's early work in Eastern Europe? Another angle. What if Doom wanted Tony to unlock time travel? In the comics, Doom often tests his rivals, pushing them to achieve greatness so he can surpass them. By planting breadcrumbs, say a leaked formula, or an anonymous tip, Doom could have guided Tony's discovery, knowing it would destabilize the timeline and create opportunities for him to exploit. Let's look at the Mobius strip itself. It's a mathematical concept, but its looping, paradoxical nature feels almost mystical, like something Doom would incorporate into his designs. Tony's epiphany comes after a single night of work, which feels suspiciously fast for a problem that stumped him for years. Could he have stumbled across a clue that wasn't his own? There's also a strategic angle. Time travel in Endgame creates countless branch realities, each with its own power dynamics. Doom, a master of multiversal schemes, would see these timelines as a playground. By indirectly enabling the time heist, he could be setting the stage for his own multiversal conquest, perhaps in Secret Wars. Did Tony solve time travel alone, or was he guided by a hidden hand? Avengers Endgame ends with a world in flux. Thanos is defeated, but the cost is staggering. Tony Stark is dead, Steve Rogers is retired, and the Avengers are scattered. Globally, things are even messier. Wakanda is grieving T'Challa's loss. Pre-Black Panther, Wakanda forever. S.H.I.E.L.D. is defunct. Hydra is underground. And the snap's aftermath has left nations in disarray. This is the perfect storm for Victor Von Doom. In the comics, Doom rises by exploiting global instability. He doesn't just seize power with force. He wins hearts and minds, presenting himself as a visionary leader. Latveria becomes a utopia under his rule, a stark contrast to the chaos of the West. Post-Endgame, the MCU's world is ripe for such a figure to emerge. Let's map it out. The snap decimated half of all life, disrupting economies, governments, and alliances. The 5-year gap sees humanity struggling to rebuild, with no clear leadership. By the time Endgame restores the vanished, the world is still fractured. We see this in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where global unrest fuels groups like the Flag Smashers. But we never see Eastern Europe, specifically, the region where Sokovia and Latveria reside. This omission feels deliberate. Marvel could be saving that region for a major reveal, showing how Doom capitalized on the chaos to build Latveria. Imagine him stepping in as a benevolent ruler, offering technology, stability, and order to a broken people. His charisma and intellect would make him a natural leader, especially in a world skeptical of superheroes after the Accords. Doom's rise wouldn't be loud, not yet. He's a chess player, moving pieces quietly. By the time the Avengers notice, Latveria could be a global superpower, with Doom at its helm. What's been happening in Eastern Europe during the MCU's gaps? Could Doom already be building his empire? Doctor Strange plays a pivotal role in Endgame. He views 14 million futures, identifies the one path to victory, and guides Tony with a cryptic finger signal. But what if Strange's actions hint at a larger threat, like Doctor Doom? In the comics, Doom is a sorcerer of near equal skill to Strange. He studied ancient magic, battled Mephisto, and even wielded the crimson bands of Cyttorak. Their rivalry is legendary, blending respect and animosity. Could Strange already know about Doom's rise? Here's the theory. Strange's limited involvement in Endgame's aftermath could stem from a hidden mission. In Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we see him grappling with multiversal chaos. What if some of that chaos traces back to Doom's experiments? Doom's blend of science and magic, say tampering with the Space Stone or building a time platform, could create ripples that Strange is quietly investigating. Let's revisit Strange's finger signal. It's a precise, calculated move, ensuring Tony sacrifices himself to defeat Thanos. But why is Strange so certain? Could he have seen Doom in those 14 million futures, realizing that Tony's death is the only way to delay Doom's plans? Without Tony's tech, Doom's access to Stark's resources, like Stark Tower, becomes harder, buying Strange time to prepare. There's also a thematic parallel. Strange and Doom are mirrors, both arrogant, brilliant, and willing to break rules for the greater good. Strange bends time in Doctor Strange. Doom bends reality in Secret Wars. Their clash would be a highlight of the multiverse saga, and Endgame could be laying the groundwork. Is Strange fighting a battle we haven't seen yet? Could Doom be the shadow he's watching? Marvel is a master of planting seeds that bloom years later. Let's look at their track record. Thanos was teased in the Avengers, 2012, but didn't dominate until Infinity War, 2018, a 6-year gap. Wakanda was mentioned in Iron Man 2, 2010, 8 years before Black Panther. The Ten Rings appeared in Iron Man 2008, but weren't central until Shang-Chi, 2021. This pattern proves Marvel plays the long game. Subtle clues in Endgame could absolutely foreshadow Doom, even if his debut is years away in Fantastic Four or Secret Wars. Think about it. Endgame is the MCU's biggest film, a culmination of 22 movies. It's the perfect place to hide Easter eggs for the next saga. Marvel knew the Fantastic Four were coming, and with them, Doom. Dropping hints in Endgame, like Sokovia's absence, Stark Tower's sale, or time travel's origins, would be a classic MCU movie. These clues don't need to scream doom. They just need to align retroactively, clicking into place when he arrives. That's how Marvel builds its universe, one hint at a time. Has Marvel been teasing Doom all along? Are we just now catching up? So, where does this all lead? The MCU is hurtling toward a multiversal showdown, with Secret Wars as its likely climax. Doctor Doom is tailor-made for this moment. Let's map out the future. Fantastic Four, 2025, will introduce Reed Richards, setting up Doom's rivalry. Avengers Secret Wars, 2027, could see Doom become God Emperor, as in the comics. The multiverse is collapsing, with timelines and realities colliding, perfect for Doom's schemes. The MCU is leaning into moral ambiguity, with heroes like Namor and villains like Kang blurring lines. Doom fits right in. Doom is the ideal bridge between grounded and cosmic storytelling. He can battle Reed in a lab, Strange in a mystical duel, or world leaders in a UN summit. Unlike Thanos, who sought to save the universe, Doom wants to rule it. His ambition, arrogance, and humanity make him a villain fans will love to hate. Endgame's clues, Loki's escape, Sokovia's fate, Stark Tower's Unional sale, Smart Hulk's origin, time travel's ease, power vacuums, and Strange's foresight could be the foundation for this arc. Whether Doom is already active or waiting to strike, his arrival feels inevitable. Is Doom the key to the multiverse saga? Will Secret Wars be his coronation? So, has Doctor Doom already arrived in the MCU? Is he the mastermind behind Endgame's hidden threads? Has he been building Latveria while the heroes grieve? And when will he step out of the shadows to claim his throne? The clues are there, scattered across Avengers Endgame like pieces of a puzzle. From Loki's Tesseract grab to Sokovia's silence. From Stark Tower's mysterious buyer to the ease of time travel, the signs point to one man, Victor Von Doom. Whether he's already moving pieces or biding his time, one thing is clear. Doom is coming, and the MCU will never be the same. What do you think? Did Marvel hide Doctor Doom in plain sight? Drop your theories in the comments. Let's piece together the ultimate Doom timeline. If you loved this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Next time, we're exploring how Doom could become the most powerful being in the multiverse saga. Until then, stay curious, stay critical, and keep an eye on the shadows.